Hi, my name is Keimela. I'm 15. And have you ever wondered what New York City residents really want their communities to make them feel happy and safe? Well, join me on this journey to find out.
To Music Studio.
Is
Hi.
this better?
Yes, it is.
Hello. I, I can hear you now.
Okay, that's great.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
That's great. Do you mind saying your name, the borough you live in, and what you do for a living?
Okay, so my name is Kathleen Etienne, and I live in Canarsie, Brooklyn. And I do several things for my living. One is architecture, and the other one is construction, and other little things. But those are my main two.
Okay. How long have you lived in your neighborhood?
I have lived in my neighborhood for 16 years.
Have you filled out the 2020 census?
I did fill out the 2020 census.
Okay. Like have you ever moved like from somewhere that wasn't in New York?
I moved, yes. I migrated from Trinidad and Tobago, and I lived in New Jersey for some time, and then I lived in Long Island for some time, and then I settled in Brooklyn.
So in Long Island, did you fill out the census there also?
In Long Island, I did not, so that would have been 35 years ago. So I didn't know anything about the census then. And in New Jersey, I didn't either. So I think I started knowing about the census maybe maybe about 10 or 15 years ago.
Did you fill out the census 10 or 15 years ago? Or was this your first year filling them out?
Actually, this is my first year filling out the census.
Okay, cool. Why did you feel like this year was it was more important to fill out the census?
I'm a little skeptic sometimes, and I feel like sometimes they ask for these statistics and I don't really know what is done with them, but I've learned that, it's partly because they want to funnel funds within our communities. And so because of this, I said, okay, I'm going to stand up and be counted, and I'm filling out the census this year. So I filled out the census this year.
That's great.
Yeah.
Have you seen, for you filling out the census, for this being your first year, have you seen any results in your neighborhood come out of it?
So far, I have not seen anything change in my neighborhood. So I'm still waiting.
Okay.
Waiting for the outcome.
So since you haven't seen any changes at now, would you still fill out the census in the next 10 years?
Yes. And not because I haven't seen the changes yet. I know it's still very recent. So hopefully by the next 10 years, I would have seen a vast difference based on the census that we are now filling out.
Okay. Although you haven't seen any changes as of now, do you personally have any changes that you want to see in your neighborhood?
Yeah, I would like to see some. We have a lot of land in. Although I should say they have done some stuff because we have, but I don't know if that's based on the census because we have the Shirley Chisholm Park that's close to us. I'd like to see more schools because we just have a few schools, not as many for elementary. Middle school, I think, is maybe just one or two. So I'd love to see more schools and community-oriented organizations develop within our community. I think we're doing well with roads and those sorts of infrastructure. But in terms of education, I would definitely say we can use a couple more schools in our district.
That's good. Now that you fill out the census and you listed your preferences for what you want to see change, what do you personally, what are the steps that you plan on taking to make sure your community gets what it needs?
One of the things is that we need to speak up. We need to encourage everyone to fill out the census, because I don't know. I think sometimes people receive the mail and it's stuck there, and people don't really fill out the census the way they need to. So I would definitely say my role could be speaking out about the importance of building our community, and in doing so, filling out the census, because that is going to help us get the funding that we need to make the changes that we want to see in our community.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much.
Okay.
For your help. And I will be reaching out to you to tell you like the steps that can be taken to make sure the community gets what it deserves.
Okay, awesome.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
10 minutes, 10 questions every 10 years. 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 10, 10, 10, that is our motto. 10, 10, 10, that's what we follow. 10, 10, 10, that is our motto. 10, 10, 10, that's what we follow.